Sorry about that. I was playing with my lights. Hey, Alex, how are you, buddy? Appreciate you coming in. Kristen, it's good to see you in here. I kind of messed up when I picked 5:30 PST time on Wednesday night. Oh, hang on a second. I kind of messed up when I picked 5:30 PST. Had my feed up on my phone so I could keep up with the chat a little easier, but that's not going to work until I figure out how to do it without sound. But anyway, I picked 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, which happens to start 30 minutes after Baldy Powell starts his live. So there's a lot of people over there that'll show up over here in the next 30 minutes or so, unless they run long. Alex, how's all that Betamax stuff treating you? Man, I can't get this light right. All I see is glare on my glasses. Let's see if I can't figure this thing out. Hey, folks, just a little reminder. Junk Monkey is going live at 5:30 Pacific Standard. That is not what I wanted. How do I get out of that? Time on Wednesday night. No, hang on a second. It doesn't. I kind of messed up when I picked 5:30. Nope, that's not going to work. All right. Huh. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, I still got a lot to learn on doing these lives as far as all this technical stuff goes. I have been started taking a few notes, things I want to talk about. I keep a pad right here by the computer, and as I think things up, I put them on here, and then I consolidate them throughout the week. And tonight I want to talk about returns, sourcing strategies, and listing strategies. Okay, Christian. Hey, Dustin, how are you, buddy? How's that home challenge going for you? I've been trying to catch all the episodes, but I've been really busy lately, and it's hard for me to catch all of them. I know I've missed one or two of them. I know I should turn that thing off. It's just, I hate missing the cha-ching when they come in. Which there's been very few of those lately. It seems like they just flipped a switch and sales stopped coming in over the past week. Previous 2 weeks, it was all I could do to keep up. Yeah, Dustin, finding time to list has been kind of rough for me. I've had the contractor out. Before they came out, I had to clear an old fence line so they could come in and build a new one. And it's been wet, rainy, and nasty. So not that I list outside. Hey, there's the variety flipper. How are you? And there's Melanie. Glad you guys are coming in. Christopher Nutter's here. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. But it almost cost me an arm, Dustin. While I was tearing the old one out, I got stabbed in the arm by a piece of wire that was almost as big around as a pencil. It kind of went in there and went all the way across my wrist. And yeah, it was, could have been bad, but it healed up all right. But no, a new fence, 70 foot of chain link fence with one gate cost me right at $5,000. Yeah, it didn't really hurt that bad. I thought I just scratched myself till I looked down and the wire was still in my arm and had the flesh pulled way up. It looked freaky. I should have got a picture of it, but instinct kicked in and I pulled it out. Everybody was complaining to me and telling me I needed to go get a tetanus shot. I haven't had one in more years than I can remember. But it healed up okay. It never got infected or swelled up other than just a little minor swelling. But I probably should go get me a tetanus shot. I haven't had one in ages, and I'm always doing something silly and getting hurt. Chris Flipped the World just liked my message that I sent him, so maybe he'll show up here pretty quick. I tried to get Baldy Pal to tell me about the picture that he sent in for the. There he is. Just talking about you, Flip. I tried to get Baldy Pal to tell me about that picture you sent him that got turned down. So how's the binge been lately for you there, Chris? Sorry, I didn't mean to blind y'all with my bald head. Well, I think we got enough people in here right now. We'll go ahead and start talking about this stuff that I took notes on. Yeah, you gotta love them sensors. Anyway, up on the list of things that I want to talk about this week is going to be returns, sourcing strategies, and listing strategies. No, I bet they're afraid people would buy them. At least the first year. The next year, they'd find be hard finding volunteers to be in it if you set the standard that high. Anyway, sourcing strategies, listing strategies, and returns. I had 4 stinking returns last week. I'm still waiting on one of them to get here. It should be back tomorrow. I have a stinking suspicion that eBay turns the algorithm off on our stores when we've got returns until they all get paid for, because my sales have just been in the tank. And one of the returns was a daggum CRT gaming TV. Dustin, you know a little bit about that. So a new eBayer buys it, I ship it, he gets it, has it for a week, decides he doesn't like it and wants to send it back. Just doesn't like it. And being it was a bigger item, I had to ship it UPS ground. And I didn't know this, but when you ship a large item via UPS ground, if a buyer starts a return, they can't automatically get the label from eBay. We, as the seller, have to go out online somehow, buy the label, and send it to them. I couldn't figure out how to do it. I ended up just giving the guy a full refund, told him to keep the damn thing. Because I'm sure when you do it that way, you don't get that eBay seller discount. And it was about to have more money in it than what I could sell it for, just in the shipping. So that was not a good one. And I do that a lot with smaller, less valuable items. I won't have them send it back. I'll just go ahead and issue the refund and just take a loss on it. Yeah, Chris, I don't think one of mine claimed to be an INAD. They said that it was listed as one size. It was a vintage Stetson hat. Had it listed as a 7 7/8, and they claim that it's not a 7 7/8, even though I sent the guy pictures of all the measurements and the size tag. So I took an INAD return on that. But that's over with, and my sales still haven't come back. But one of the speaking of returns, it's like I was saying, if it's a small item that I don't have a lot of money in, like say something I got from the bins and I've got maybe $1.50 in it, $2, whatever, and I sell it for $20, I'm not going to have them ship it back. Yeah, that buyer paid return thing. What happens with that is I lose my top rated seller plus or top rated plus seller discount. And I know a lot of people think that that's not that much and you shouldn't worry about it. But when you're paying over $1,000 a month in final value fees, that 10% adds up. And it's, I like having the money. If I have to eat a return now and again, I'll do it. But one thing I'm not going to do anymore is sell really big things that have to go out like that. The TV thing, I'm just not going to do any more TVs. They're a pain in the butt to pack up. I get shipping supplies like yoga mats and pool noodles to help me pack larger items. But the group of people out there who buy CRT gaming TVs, they're a younger group, and I don't know how to say it nicely. I think there's a lot of scammers mixed into their culture or grouping or whatever they call themselves. So I'd just rather not do business with them if that's what I got to put up with. But like I was saying, if it's a cheap item, I'll just go ahead and eat the return. That discount means a lot to me. The best thing in the world is to avoid returns. Yeah. Yeah. The other one that's coming back to me is a combo unit, VCR DVD combo player that they sent me an offer on, and I accepted their offer. And then for the reason for the return, they ordered by mistake. I'm like, how are you going to send me an offer and then call and I accept your offer, you pay for it, get it all the way there, and then you say you ordered it by mistake? Hey, Gulf Coast Pickers is here. Old timer. I'm not that old. 3 days older than dirt is not all that old. Sal's here. How are you, buddy? We are talking about returns. I've had 4 returns over the past week, and it's kind of bumming me out a little bit. But one of the ways traditionally over the last 25 years that I've avoided returns is I find that I make better sales and have happier sellers when I go out of my way to point out a defect in the item. For the majority of those 25 years has been old, antique, vintage, and luxury watches. So if I go out of my way to point out any defects or dings or scratches or whatever, people tend to appreciate that and they don't mind it because they know what they're getting. There's a lot of people out there that will hide that scratch. They'll take pictures that avoid the little defects. And then when the seller gets it and they see this stuff and it just, to them, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And that causes, Christopher, I do believe you do have a wrench. Let me check. Yeah, you got the wrench. I need to pass out a few more. But anyway, I was talking about if you point out just be brutally honest in your descriptions and take pictures and point those flaws out. That helps avoid a lot of returns on items. One of the other things that I do that one of the 4 returns was a pair of jeans. It was a pair of jeans I listed several months ago before I started doing what I'm about to show you. I have me a whiteboard and I put measurements on it. The one measurement that I did not put on these jeans was the hip measurement. Hey, SSK Pro is here. Promo. Ken, that's your name. Takes me a minute. I'm horrible with names, guys. I recognize everybody's screen name, but everybody's real life names are kind of hard for me to remember. But anyway, if you put all the measurements in there, it's, instead of taking 2 measurements, take 5. Don't give them any excuse for having a return. All right. Yeah, hip. I do the waist, the inseam, the hip, the rise, and the leg opening on jeans. And I also put the factory marked size on the top. And then the actual measurements below that. I know a lot of people just lay a ruler across it and add that into the picture. But that when you got 4 or 5 measurements, that's 4 or 5 extra pictures you got to take. I can do all of those measurements with 1 picture on that whiteboard. Anybody think any other ways you can avoid these stinking returns? Because I'm telling you, whenever I hear that eBay message alert on my phone, I cringe every time these days because it's always some kind of foolishness I got to put up with. For instance, this past Thursday or Friday morning, I went and dropped off a bunch of packages. And somebody at the post office hit the wrong button on the scan gun, and they scanned every stinking package as delivered at post office available for pickup. All day, every day, I've had to send multiple messages back and forth, back and forth. I had one person that same day within an hour that wanted a refund. And I'm like, no, not till you get the item and send it back to me. They haven't started a return yet, so hopefully they won't. It's just a cheap little DVD set. But yeah, it's the instant they saw that, they sent me a message. I told them what was up, and they're like, well, this is a gift, and I can't wait. And I'm like, you don't have to wait. And they're like, well, give me a refund. I'm like, no. The biggest reason I don't like doing clothing is, number one, it's hard for me to source decent clothing around here. The bins is the only place where it's affordable, but I have a feeling that they cherry pick the clothing that they send to our bins, and they pick out all the t-shirts and most of the jeans. And I think there's a rag house that they have a contract with that they bale that stuff up and send it to them. And anytime, like yesterday afternoon, I stopped by the Goodwill on my way home from my watch repair shop, found 2 pair of cool pants, the KUHL, I think is our KHUL, however you spell it. 2 brand new pair, or not brand new, 2 pair on a brand new rack. The rack just came out. Saw that symbol from 6 feet away. Went, snatched them off the rack and was looking them over, looking for defects. They looked great. And then I saw the price tag on it, $29 a pair. I mean, even for a plain white t-shirt, and I'm pretty sure this was a mistake, but a plain white Hanes V-neck white t-shirt, extra large, $15.79. Regular ones, you can't find a t-shirt in there for less than $5.79 each. If it has a nice looking graphic of any kind on it at all, it goes up. So a $10 t-shirt in there, a t-shirt that you or I could sell online for $10, $15, they've got it in there for $15. So clothing is hard for me to do. It normally takes me several trips to the bins to put together one laundry load of jeans and one laundry load of colored clothing. But anyway, that's returns. I got on my notes here sourcing strategies, but what I really meant was buy cost, your strategy for buying. I can't tell you how many times I've seen and heard, oh, I can double up on that. If you're doubling your money, trust me, you are losing money. It is exceedingly difficult to make any profit whatsoever on a double up. The only way a double up works is if it's a high dollar amount and you can flip it same day. And it's easy to ship and cheap to ship. Quite honestly, when you hear retail businesses, brick and mortar business talk about operating on a 20% profit, that's 20% after everything, including taxes. In order to get a 20% profit, you have to get 5 times your cost of goods back. It's just simple math. That's how it works. Now, I will buy things at 3 times the money, but it has to have an exceedingly high sell-through rate. I do free returns also. I do free returns on everything, and like I just have to eat one every once in a while and just give them the money back and tell them not to send it. What gets me upset though is occasionally I'll give them the money back and tell them keep it, do whatever you want with it, and then they will print the damn shipping label and send it back to me anyway, which costs me more money. I have a pair of motorcycle boots over here somewhere that happened to me on. But getting back to the sourcing strategies and buy cost, you really need to go sit down with a CPA or somebody that works in accounting, and I'm sure they can do a better job of explaining it than me. I have a spiel that I tell people all the time about making money, and it's not 100% accurate, but it's just a story to get the point across. And it goes something like this. If you break even, you've lost money. You didn't get to pay for your time. You didn't make any profit. You could have left that money in an interest-bearing account somewhere and made more money than breaking even. So, because time really is money. Supplies is money. Overhead is money. So if you break even on your initial investment, you've actually lost money. It cost you money to store that item. It cost you money to go and get that item. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to get even a little bit of your money back, but breaking even is never good. You always lose money. When you double up, you're basically breaking even or less. And what we say about breaking even, you're losing money. If you triple up, you're making a little bitty, tiny bit of money, just a little bit. I don't know about you, but I like making more than just a little bit. Julian, brother, how are you? I'm so glad you showed up. We've been talking about returns, and now we're talking about sourcing strategies, or better yet, buying or cost of goods strategies. And I'm kind of explaining my theory on how to buy in. And everybody's talking. Okay. But anyway, to get back to this, so if you break even, you're losing money. If you double up, you're basically breaking even. So remember what we said about breaking even, you're losing money. Triple up, you're making just a little bit of money. I'm not in this to make a little bit of money. I want to put money in the bank. I want to make enough money to live. 4 times the money, you're doing pretty good. 5 times the money is where you actually start making a genuine profit where you're increasing your wealth. That means you've made enough money to cover all of your overhead, including taxes. And you've got money left over to reinvest in your business and maybe put a little in the bank. So that's where that's at, is 5 times the money is what I really like to buy in. Anything that has a good sell through rate and I can make 6 times my money or better, I consider that a home run. So a lot of you guys out there that are going out thinking you can double up or triple up and make money, that's more or less just a push. Julian, don't talk like that. I don't want to have to come visit you in jail. Joey, how are you, brother? How bad is it? Get some footage, man. I've lived through a few hurricanes myself. Hey, Matt, how are you? Are they done over at Adam's channel yet? Are the winds 60 to 70? Is it a Cat 3 or is it going to grow or is it going to peter out? What's it doing, Joey? Cat 1. Yeah. See, I'm originally from Flip the World's part of the country, down the Houston area. I live a little northeast of where he's from. I'm from the Beaumont, Texas area, so I went through quite a few hurricanes. They're still going over there, Matt? Well, that's all right. I just Adam's channel was the one that I missed when I picked Wednesday night, my time slot that starts at 5:30 my local time. Oh. So let me ask you guys, what are some of your basic requirements for your cost of goods? How much do you like to make above and beyond what you pay in? What kind of ROI do you like? Oh, nobody like talking about money. That's all right. We'll move on to the next topic, and that'd be yeah. Man, it's just getting downright impossible for me to source shoes around here. I found 2 pair of Hokas a couple of days ago. One of them was a women's pair, uh, Clifton sixes, I think, with no insoles, beat up, and they had them marked at $39. I was like, no. And then lo and behold, there's a pair of men's Odyssey. Again, no insoles and beat up. And they had those listed at 20. Size 8, so kind of small. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Get them kids picked up and home? Yeah, it seems like every time there's something gets hot, you usually have about a 6-week window at the absolute best before they catch on. A little over a year, almost 2 years ago now, I walked in there and found a brand spanking new pair of On Clouds. Still had the little tags on them and everything, the little stickers on the insoles and the bottom soles. Picked them up for $13. All right. Well, drive. Don't talk. Hey, Cameron, how are you? You're not late. I do go to yard sales. It's just hours around here start on Thursdays and Fridays, and there are a huge number of resellers in this area. And man, they're ruthless at the yard sales. And then we have a large number of our yard sales, or what I call professional yard sellers. They go to the bins and pick stuff up, and they bring them home, and they have a yard sale every week, and it's the same picked over junk. But occasionally I do make good finds at yard sales. It's just tough. Now, what I do like is when we go out, get out away from the city and go camping or something, or go stay somewhere in a smaller rural area. Now, those yard sales I normally almost always do really good at. See, Cameron, if I remember right, you're here in Oregon too, aren't you? Yep, Salem. That's what I remembered. One of these days, we're going to have to all get together, all of us Oregon people, and hit an area up. I come across some pretty good items down here where I'm at, but it's hit or miss, and there's a lot more missing than hitting. Yeah, Matt, I used to have that hookup. I knew one of the managers at my local Goodwill, and she would tell me what time she'd be bringing them out, and I'd be there. And she's pretty good about giving me a discount or price. If I point something out to her, she'll change the price for me. Yep, I'm in the Medford area. I'm thinking Eugene would be a good city for us to meet. I'm pretty sure they've got bins, still have bins there. The bins in Roseburg got shut down. See, I have the bins, and I have three regular retail Goodwill stores here. I have a Salvation Army, St. Vincent's de Paul, and a couple of other smaller ones. Albany and Corvallis. I'm trying to remember if Corvallis is above or below Salem. It's been a few years since I've been that far north on the five. Yeah, most of the managers and a lot of the workers at all the Goodwill stores around here, they all know me at least by sight, if not by name, and I'm always very nice to them. And I always bring my cart back. Our local Salvation Army has a new manager, and she doesn't like resellers, and she doesn't know how to do sold comps. She's got everything in there marked at ridiculous eBay asking prices, not actual sold prices. And it's getting that way in the regular Goodwill stores too. Yeah, the Danskos, every single pair I find, that little detail around the top edge of it, every one of them is broke and cracked right through there. Yeah, yeah, that bin test. I picked up some kids, picked up several pair of them actually at the bins. One pair looked just almost brand new. I was actually taking pictures of them, and I noticed something, and did the bend test, and they didn't bend and crack; they snapped. It, Kathy, I don't understand it either. My local St. Vincent de Paul's, they really don't like resellers in there. Apparently, a couple of years ago, a couple of resellers got into a fist fight in the middle of the store, and since then, they really don't like them. Little Miss Q, how are you? Well, you tell Pam Pam I said hello. Man, I would Converse and Vans. Every time I find them, they're $15 to $20 here, and they're normally beat up. And if they're not beat up, they're $25 to $29. And sourcing around here has gotten pretty tough. I I don't have enough stuff to list every day or much less build my draft bank like I like to run. For the longest time, for the last several months, I've tried to increase my number of active listings every day by one. And what I mean by that is, if tonight I go to bed and I have 501 listings active, tomorrow before I go to bed, I will have 502 listings. And that worked great. It shows growth every day that you're growing your eBay business, and the algorithm seems to like that. And I can't keep up. I run out of drafts and I run out of inventory, and I'm scrambling, and I'm going out every day. I'm finding one or two items per place that I'm able to hit. And most days I'm only able to hit one or two. On Mondays I can hit all of them. So I had to come up with a new listing strategy. Now what I do is I go out, I get as much stuff as I can, and then I come home and get it tested and cleaned if necessary, and I draft it. And I draft as many as I can every day. And before I go to bed at night, I will go active with half of my drafts. Then the next morning when I get up and I'm drinking my coffee and I'm going through eBay messages, seeing what I'm sold, making a plan for the day, whatever drafts I've got in the bank in the morning, I will do another half of my drafts, and then start the day and do it all over again. Matt, was that you that bought that? Thank you. I'm sorry I put it in a poly bag. I didn't have a box that it would fit in, but I did wrap it in bubble wrap. Man, I've had that puzzle a while. I'm pretty sure it's over a year. It was listed over a year. Yeah, the dollar amount I would love to do, but I can't. Just over the last few weeks, sourcing anything has gotten tough. I've never left empty handed so many times as I have in this past week or two. Well, put some glue or something on it so it doesn't fall apart. Now I have a bunch of vintage and high end watches to list, but uh, my tradition over the last 20 plus years is I save all the watches, the good watches, and I list them all at one time. And I list them the weekend of Thanksgiving, as biggest shopping weekend of the year. And it's a great time to list this sort of stuff. So that's what I'm it's going to be another couple of weeks before I list all of those. And I've got several more I got to get ready. Let's see. Here's what holds all my pens and stuff. I got an R2D2 mug. I'm always finding little things. Hey, Colin's on the move. How are you? Chrissy? Did I get that right? Let me know. But I'm always finding stuff out there that's really not worth listing. So I've got little Star Wars things and Marvel things and Disney things sitting all over the place. Awesome. I'm terrible with names. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the chat and talking to it instead of looking at the camera. Excuse me. I don't know why I didn't list that thing, but I also, this is one of my coffee mugs that I drink out of. And being a watchmaker, I couldn't say no to it. I don't think it has any resale value, but you find little things like that all the time and you just can't help yourself, or I can't. My St. Vincent's is when I do find something vintage, it's normally at St. Vincent's. And a lot of times they have a half off day and I'll catch them. And I just found a vintage Mickey Mouse Christmas crew neck sweatshirt in there that was great. And I think I paid $2 for it. Yeah. I would show you my VHS collection because I get them for 10 for $1. I have a stack that is literally 6 foot tall to my right. But I literally, there's stuff that's sitting around all over the place in here. Ooh. Now, if I move that, something's going to fall. Yep, something fell. Oh, something else fell. Windowsill's probably not a good spot for that stuff anyway. But I find stuff like this. New inbox Avon Snoopy thing. I don't remember what's in it. It's a Avon Snoopy and Doghouse shampoo. Actually, it's not in there. It's just a box. You know, like a little Snoopy thing. I think that's a hairbrush. But it looks cool sitting on a shelf. No, no, I've never found a VHS tape that I thought was worth sending in to get graded. This whole third-party grading thing started with coins and a little company called PCGS back in the 80s. You know, I might list those one day. I just kind of enjoy looking at them. I've looked them up before and they didn't seem to have much in the way of resale value. But if you want me to, I'll list them and send them to you. Let's see. The VHS, I've always got them in here. I sell a lot of them, the VCRs. And sometimes I leave one hooked up and I'll just watch some of these old movies. My best sell of the week. Let me pull that up and see. And I don't know how to share a screen, so you'll just have to take my words for it. Let's see. Paid and shipped. All right, eBay. Come on. Load up. Oh, Lord, I've got a message. Have to go see what that craziness is about. Okay, over this past week. Oh, I should have known that. It was an easy one. My best sell was yesterday. I or last night late, I listed a Magnavox combo unit with the remote, the cables, and a blank VHS tape. I bought it for, I think, $13, and I sold it last night for $90 plus shipping. Oh, hey, I have got a $8 offer on a $15 pair of jeans. I am going to counter with $10. $10. Review. Submit. I didn't even hear that offer come in. And I say, hey, I got 4 items I can send offers out on. Somebody was asking me about that the other day. When I send offers out, I send them out all day, every day. As soon as I noticed I can send one out, I send it out. Send offers. This week is 10% off. And I am allowing counter offers. There we go. Later tonight or in the morning, I will post one on my Woo Junk Monkey Got Paid Instagram post and show y'all that Magnavox. I've sold that same unit a dozen times. Normally, I only get around $40 to $60 for them. This one was extra clean and it had the remote, and I always put cables and blank VHS tape with them. Man, send those offers out. 5 or 10% off really isn't that much, and you don't have to accept counter offers, so you probably get some money going. Lowball offers. I'm one of those people that if somebody sends me a ridiculous lowball offer, I'm going to counter it 1 cent off my full asking price. Every once in a while, that leads to a sale, but more often than not, it leads to me blocking them for being jerks. And I kind of have a schedule for my offers that I send out. Like the first week of the month is 5% off offers, and I leave the counter offers turned on. This is the second week of the month, so it's 10%. Next week, or starting Friday, because I start them on Fridays, it'll be 15%, and I'll pick and choose which items that I leave the counter offers turned on. Then the following week will be 20% off with all the offers turned off, counter offers turned off. And then the final weekend of the month, I send out 25% off offers and turn the counter offers off on that. Absolutely. Julian, I think it was you that I heard say this. It was like, as soon as I can send one, I send it. That way they might still have their phone in their hand shopping, and they're like, oh, look at this. This guy's on the ball. I'm going to go ahead and buy from him. All right, Ryan, man. Hey, I really do appreciate you coming by. You have a good night. All right, Cameron. Hey, holler at me sometime, and me, you, and Sal will try to get together and maybe make some content, and better yet, find something good to sell. Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I am checking throughout the day, all day, every day, and as soon as I can send an offer out, I do it. Huh. The item that fell when I reached up there to get the Snoopy down was a gemstone that I mined a few years back. It's actually a deposit of pink opal that I found on top of a mountain. Yeah, I haven't figured out how to use the coupons. I messed with it once or twice, and for whatever reason, I ran out of time or just lost patience with it. I send out offers all the time, so. But anyway, I used to, well, I still am a gem prospector, and I accidentally stumbled on a deposit of pink opal. Man, that lighting is terrible. I'm going to waste a thermal label. See if I can't. Anyway, that's a big chunk of opal, and it is pink. It's great for carving. I have got more rocks, gems, and minerals laying around here. I've got a great big, I don't know if you can see it in here, but these shelves, let's see which side I'm on. Yeah. Okay. The theater sign, that's a section of shelving is probably about 10 foot long. On the other end of it, there's an 18-inch diamond saw. And I've got a bunch of huge agates and jaspers and obsidians and stuff I need to saw up. I have a faceting machine in this cabinet next to me. I used to have a full jewelry and lapidary shop set up in here, but that stuff got put into storage so I could move my eBay business out here, out of the house. And that's kind of on my bucket list. Julian was talking about traveling and thrifting for like a cross country thrifting thing, sort of like Carrie or American Arbitrage did. And he was talking about coming to the West Coast and doing it. Stay where you at. We'll come to you. You have much better yard sales where you're at, man. Around here, everybody's the kind of yard sales I have. They've got the eBay comps taped to the table next to the item. It's always the active listings, never the solds. But my offer still stands. If you want to come out this way, I'll take you and show you the sites. Same day, I can show you Crater Lake, some beautiful waterfalls, and the redwood forest and the Oregon coast, all in the same day, if we start early enough. Well, man, if you do make it out this way, let me know. And if nothing else, I'll get you a good meal. I cook one hell of a steak. Yeah, well, Mount St. Helens is on the other end of the state from me. I'm at the southern end of Oregon, and St. Helens is all the way on the other end. But I do have Mount McLaughlin. Some years it'll still have snow on it all the way into July. But we have a lot of good hiking and woods and mountains and beaches and rivers and things to look at, all within a fairly short drive from where I live. That's right, Marie. I forgot you lived up that way. Matt, they do. In fact, The world's largest drying and storage warehouse for that stuff is right across the street from my watch repair shop. And this time of year, the smell is potent, to say the least. Potent. That is awesome. Julian, there's actually a lot of that sort of thing goes on out here on the West Coast. Stickers is a big thing out here. You know, down south, everywhere you go, you see road signs that are peppered with bullet holes. And down here, they're coated in stickers. Hang on. Lori, Mama with a camera, thinks she missed the show. So we'll send her a message to tell her we're still on. Maybe she'll show up. Hey, Justin, how are you? I've actually accidentally found a few geocaches. Hey, Cajun, how are you, buddy? Christopher, did you put out a video recently that you sold a plush for $950? Or did I dream that? Jellycat frog. I keep hearing about Jellycat, but I've yet to run across one. Every once in a while, I'll find a gund something or another, but not a whole lot. I was actually around when the Beanie Baby craze took over, or not took over, but you know, got huge really fast. And coin dealing business that I used to frequent back in Texas got into the game, and it was freaking amazing to go in there and watch these women just going crazy trying to buy $600 little beanbag toys. And I just never could wrap my head around that. But you know, the same thing with the Elmos, and God, who knows what it's going to be this year. The best luck I've had with plush is actually video game plush, with the exception of Pikachu's. I can't hardly give a Pikachu away. I was also around when the original Cabbage Patch Kid craze took effect. We had a woman in our neighborhood. I say neighborhood is small little rural East Texas town. Put a garden shed in her yard out by the highway to sell Cabbage Patch Kids, and it looked like they had a party there every day. There was almost no parking. Good night, Julian, brother. I really appreciate you coming in. I remember, yeah, when the Cabbage Patch thing kicked off, and then they came out with Cabbage Patch, or not the but the Garbage Pail Kids stickers and cards. All us boys at the time, you know, this was back in the mid 80s, 84, 85, 86, somewhere around there. All the boys used to pick on the girls by having these cards and showing them around. And the girls would get mad because they thought we were picking on their Cabbage Patch baby dolls. And we were. Yeah. You know, Matt, I have never, to this day, I am not one to join a hysterical crowd over anything. Like at the bins when they bring a new rotation out, and these people are in there elbow to elbow shoving each other. I just hang back and go through the ones they abandoned. And when they get done pawing through all the new ones, I'll go behind them and find all the stuff they missed. I'm not joining a crazy crowd for anything. It's just not worth it to me. And anybody that would push, any grown ass person that would push a kid out of the way so they could go buy some trinket, something ain't right with them. I do still collect coins. In fact, I got some in yesterday. I got some wheat pennies in that I ordered. I need to go visit my local coin shops again. It's been a 2 months, I guess, maybe longer since I made my rounds looking for coins. You and I were both on. My favorite coin is the wheat penny. Um, Now, the most beautiful coin to me is the. Well, it's kind of a toss up. It's the not the St. Gaudens, but the earlier $20 gold piece and the $10 Indian gold piece. Those are two of them that I think are the most beautiful. That was an airplane. I live right in line with the landing strip at the airport here in Medford, which is about a mile behind me. Gauging at one time, it took me 17 years, but I put a complete set of wheat pennies together, minus the errors. I didn't have the 55 double die, and I didn't have the 22 no mint mark, but I had every variety from every year and every mint. And I wish to God I had them. I had a MS63 red brown '09 SVDB. I paid $400 for that coin back in the late 80s. Yep. The '09 SVDB, I had one, an MS63 red brown, ANAX graded. That's back when they were still doing photo grade. That was before they even had slabs. Matt, you have an '09 SVDB? PD, I am in Medford, Oregon. Burns gets very cold. I used to work at one of the gemstone mines out there north of town. I'm sorry, Petey, I didn't see that earlier question. All right, I answered it then. Uh, let's see. Out on the coast. We're out on the coast. My wife and I, we love going out to Gold Beach. Man, Matt, that's awesome. Christopher, it's been in the lower 50s. Got the highest was here today. The sun came out for a little while. The last week and a half or so, it's been kind of rainy, gray, and drizzly, cold, chilly. Yep, I know right where that's at. I've been to Astoria a couple of times. Chrissy, does it still rain every day at 2 o'clock? Uh, no, I couldn't retire on a 43 copper. They only sell for about 10 grand. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Glad you could make it. Chrissy, where are you at? Where's the storm in relation to Orlando? Is it above you, below you, coming right at you? Hmm. Victor David Brenner, Matt. I do know the story. They put it back on the penny on the obverse on the lower edge of the bust of Lincoln in 1917. And if you can find one from an early enough die, uh, you can still see it there. But I hope it's not too much of a storm surge for you there, Christy. That's well, if well, you're never far from a waterway in Florida anywhere. I know down in Texas when I was working in the shipyards, if storm surge started coming in, you had about 30 minutes to get inland before all the little low bridges and culverts and stuff were underwater and you couldn't get out. And hopefully that damn thing doesn't spawn too many tornadoes. Rachel, VDB is the designer's initials for the Lincoln wheatback cent. He designed the penny in 1909 when they started it. And on the reverse in the first year, 1909, on the back of the penny, they had his initials, VDB. Noel is here. Hey, I am so glad you got here. But there was a lot of controversy. He was the first person to ever put his initials on the design of the coin. So they immediately took it off halfway through the first year. But then in 1917, they put the initials back on the penny, but this time on the front and much smaller. And his initials are still on pennies to this day. If you look at a brand new penny down at the lower left edge of the bust of Lincoln, you can see the VDB there. And if you flip the coin over and you see the Lincoln Memorial, if you look on the lower right edge of the building, there's a little FG. And that's the designer for the Lincoln Memorial back. Noel, I had a couple of guys in here earlier. I don't know. Let's see, Cameron and Sal. They're both Oregon pickers, resellers, and they're going to talk to me, see about a get together. And if you want, I will include you in those talks, and we'll see if we just can't get our only little FlipCon style get together going on. 1.5 billion. That's a lot of money. I'm absolutely doing so. I'm in the wrong racket. All righty then. I still need to get up your way. It's just hard finding time to get away for a couple of days. Hmm. Who's carrying that auction? Is it online or is there a network carrying it? There's Laura. See, I told you we were still alive. I'm sitting there reading, trying to get caught up on the chat. Got people coming in. Well, Noel, I'm going to fix that for you right now. There you go. Now you can drop a link. My pleasure, Lori. I'm didn't mean to bother you at church. Hope you didn't get in trouble. Over here checking my eBay right quick, see if any of those offers did me any good. I got to turn best offers on. Sorry, folks. I'm like I said, I always send out offers as fast as I can. Ooh, that's a big one. Sending out an offer on a $625 Omega wristwatch. It is 10% weak and counter offers are on. I'd love to sell that thing. I've sold it once before and they put it on the eBay layaway plan and never paid for it. I like watching those auctions so I can guess what it's going to sell for. 10% off. That Omega wristwatch, I know how much I have in it, which wasn't much because I knew it was going to be a long-tailed sale. And if it wasn't for the fact that it was near mint and still had the original box and papers, I would have never even bought it. Rachel, I've had that kind of thing happen before with zero feedback, brand new people. And a lot of times what that is a guest buyer where they found your item on like Google or something. And I've honestly never had a problem with those. I get more problems out of people with between 40 and 60. That would be awesome. Noel, I don't know if right this minute would be the best time. Everybody's busy with Q4 and the weather's bad, but I'm game if everybody else is. Now, I have had some of those people. I had somebody create a brand new account, and then they sent me an offer that was the same as my asking price. And I sent them a message, ask them what way, what's going on? Do you not understand how this works? Or never answered me back. So I just declined their offer. And then they came back, same person, and sent me a lowball offer. And I was like, nah, this just too many red flags. Yeah, Rachel, if it don't feel right, don't do it. Better safe than sorry. Let's see. It is right now 44 degrees and misting rain. Folks, we are going on an hour and a half, and my little pea brain just cannot think of anything else to talk about tonight. So, if you guys will do me a favor over the coming week, if you can think of a topic you'd like for me to talk about, or bring up here with everybody, send me a message on Instagram and let me know. Or you can put it in the comment section on the replay. Noel, we can do that watch thing anytime you get ready. I've got a computer with a camera on it now. I've got thousands and thousands of watch related items all around me. So you just pick a date and time, and except for this Sunday. This coming Sunday, I'm already on a live with, I think, the Nashville Flippers. But any other time, you let me know and I'll be there. But getting back, if you guys could start sending me DMs on Instagram or leave comments right here on the video, and we will come up with topics to talk about, or you can give me ideas and I'll see what I can come up with. All right, Noel, you, like I said, hey, Ping, how are you? You caught me just as I was about to leave. And I did see that Joey came through and bought something from your store that last week. I got people coming in now. I feel bad about wanting to leave. You know, I might move this thing from 5:30 to 6 o'clock. Yeah, you know, Ping, I have the same problem. I have missed so many shows because I don't get the notification until 3 hours after a show has started or ended. Did Dave tell you to ask it? No, Dave did not. Quite honestly, Rachel, I did that just on a whim, spur of the moment thing. And I had no idea that they were about to end their show, which kind of, it got you and got me. So I was trying to get in the boys' pockets. I didn't figure they'd turn it. I should have double dog dared them. They wouldn't have been able to say no. They got saved by the bell. Did he really? All right. No, he didn't. You tell him to screenshot the message and send it. The triple dog dare. You better believe that one. Oh, now I'm going to have Dave on my live show and call him out on it. He didn't throw me under the bus, but I'm going to push him in front of one. Because I guarantee you that was not Dave's idea. That was my idea. Them boys came in wanting to start a little trouble and act funny, and so I thought I'd get in their pockets. I can't believe he did that. All right. It's on now. It was good. Not that I'm any judge of rap. And then he said, and ooh, that boy. See, Dave was trying to convince you that he got to you through me. I wouldn't have let him do that. Oh, you'll see it on Rachel. That'll be on your podcast Friday, or the Cash to Trash Boys going to have a podcast come out Friday too. All right. Have y'all already recorded this Friday's podcast? Has anybody got his mailing address? I got something I want to send him. See, now you guys have made a podcast, and I'm thinking y'all said that Dave put me up to that. If he was putting me up to it, if he wanted to take blank, credit for doing that, starting that, he should have been the one to jump in and spend the money instead of me. Okay, so their current podcast, he took credit for it. Oh, wait a minute. Dave is on your podcast this week. All right, set me straight. Oh, Noel, I figured that out about him a long time ago. But I still like him. Aha. Yep. That's what I figured. And no, he did not put me up to it. Hmm. See, now I got to come up with something to get back at him on that one. I am betting that this Friday he will be in the chat during the premiere. Well, okay, I will. Ladies and gentlemen, I really have run out of things to talk about. We've been on for an hour and a half, and I'm supposed to keep this to an hour at a time, but anyway, I'll be there. I'll be there to premiere, promise you. And once again, I'd like to ask you guys to help me out. Come up with things you want to talk about or want me to talk about or bring up during the show so we can all talk about it. And I will see you next Wednesday. Keep an eye on my Instagram and the channel here. And I don't know, but I may move from 5:30 West Coast time to 6 p.m. West Coast time. So until then, you guys stay safe, especially you, Chrissy, and Joey, if you're still here or you're watching this on the playback. Y'all be careful during this hurricane. And I'll see y'all next week. Good night, everybody.